What's up, AuthorTube? I wanted to talk about an important topic for me that's been a point of emphasis in recent years with my writing, and that is ending chapters on a strong note to set the stage for bigger things to come in your book. So one of the methods that I wanted to use to end my chapters was to have prompts, something that's going to get the reader to go from what I just wrapped up in the chapter that they're reading right now to get them to leap either to the next chapter that's coming up directly or maybe two chapters ahead, especially if you have a book where you're writing alternating perspectives, either from time periods or from voices. And so having something that's going to get them to jump from point A to point B or from point A to point C was something that I really wanted to put in as a point of emphasis in the writing that I've been doing of late. Another point of emphasis is raising tension or introducing conflict at the end of a chapter. So you want to finish that chapter strong, and sometimes raising a new conflict or putting some kind of a cliffhanger at the end of that chapter is going to be something where the reader is reading it and reading and reading it, and they're like, oh man, I'm getting toward the end of the chapter and I can relax a little bit. And then all of a sudden, boom, you bust them with that new item, something that maybe they hadn't expected, and something that just is going to be that cliffhanger that's going to get them to say, oh my goodness, I got to see what's going to happen next. And so introducing that little bit of tension or a lot of tension at the end of a chapter, especially if it's leading to something bigger down the line, either in that next chapter or two chapters or three chapters down the line, is something that's really going to help keep your reader hooked. Another aspect of ending chapters on a strong note could be the introduction of a new and intriguing character, something that the reader can look forward to in future chapters. And so if you've got a really cool, unique character that you're waiting for that right opportunity to drop that character that's going to make a huge difference or it's going to make a significant impact in your story, doing it at the end of a chapter is a good way of keeping your reader hooked and interested for what story you have left to come. Another tip is don't have your character, especially like one of your main characters, doing something that's kind of boring at the end of a chapter, like having them go to bed, to wake up with some kind of, to perhaps wake up with some kind of big thought, but something that you are not necessarily alluding to at the end of a chapter. So if you just have them, hey, I'm just going to go to bed and tomorrow will be a new day, that's probably going to be boring to your reader, and you might stand a chance of losing them or having them put the book aside rather than to keep working through. Because once you get your reader reading, you want to keep them with that momentum going, make them want to rush ahead and finish as much of your book as they can. If you get them on a roll, you got a chance of keeping them hooked all the way through to the end. Because once you start putting the book down, you as a reader know this, once you start putting it down, sometimes it can be a little bit harder to pick it back up. So those are a few of the tips that I wanted to talk about for how you can successfully end a chapter and at the same time keep your reader hooked for future information, new characters, new storylines, new subplots that are still to come in your book.